Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Hope you've been having a nice weekend here so far. Got eight matchups on this NBA slate for Sunday. Before I get started, go ahead and like and subscribe. Support the channel. 64 members in the private Discord server. I'd love to have you guys be a part of that community we're building. Building slow and steady. If you love sports and you love betting, you want to be a part of the community. A lot of helpful information and insight from other people, and just a good bunch of people to have around. It's a nice time. Love to have you in there. Become a YouTube member as well, and all those links are in the description. We're gonna get started with the 8 matchups here on Sunday. First one going to be between the Indiana Pacers versus the Atlanta Hawks. Pacers 26-29, 23-32 against the spread. The Hawks 30-26, 30-25-1 against the spread. Hawks opening up as 4.5-point favorites with the over-under at 234.5. Last 10 games for the Pacers, 5-5 in their last 10. The Hawks 7-3 in their last 10. Pacers, 8-1 in their last 9 meetings with Atlanta here. They're 4-1 against the spread on the road. 4-2 in their last 6. Playing pretty well, coming off that bad loss to Utah where they were winning the whole game and just blew it in the fourth. Atlanta, 7-2 against the spread in their last 9, so they've been covering. 8-2 against the spread at home. They are going to be without Gallinari for Sunday's matchup. A couple other guys are questionable as well. I like the Pacers. I think 4.5 points is too much. Hawks are a good team, but Pacers are playing better. Not better than the Hawks, but I mean they're playing pretty good. I think it's gonna be a closer game. I'll take the points with Indiana plus 4.5. We're gonna go with the over 234.5 as well. Next matchup, we have the New Orleans Pelicans versus the New York Knicks. Pelicans 25-31, 25-31 against the spread. The Knicks 30-27, 35-21-1 against the spread. Knicks opening up as 2.5-point favorites with the over-under at 221. Last 10 games for the Pelicans, 4-6 in their last 10. New York, 6-4 in their last 10. The Pelicans, 6-3 in their last 9 games against New York here. 2-5 against the spread in their last 7. Team's been playing very poorly. New York, the Knicks, currently on a 5-game winning streak. 8-0 against the spread in their last 8. This Knicks team's playing really good right now. The Pelicans, one of the worst defensive teams in the NBA. Gonna roll with the Knicks minus 2.5 here. They're just playing really good. Gonna ride the hot streak. Gonna take the Knicks. We're gonna go with the over 221 as well. Next matchup, we have the Brooklyn Nets versus the Miami Heat. The Nets 38-18, 28-18 against the spread, 28-28 against the spread. The Heat 28-28, 23-32-1 against the spread. Nets opening up as 5.5-point favorites with the over-under at 225. Last 10 games for Brooklyn, 7-3 in their last 10. Miami 6-4 in their last 10. Harden's still out. Aldridge retired. As far as I could tell, I would imagine Kevin Durant, Kyrie, Blake Griffin are all going to be playing. Miami, Brooklyn 4-1 against the spread in their last 5. 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 meetings with Miami here. Miami coming off that bad loss to Minnesota, bad loss to Denver, bad loss to Phoenix. They're just getting killed here in these last 3 games. This bad losing streak. I think it's going to be number 4. I'm going to roll with the Nets minus 5, and we're going to go with the over 225. Next matchup, we have the Houston Rockets versus the Orlando Magic. Houston 14-42, 18-38 against the spread. Magic 18-38, 28-27-1 against the spread. Houston opening up as 1.5-point favorites with the over-under at 218.5. Last 10 games for Houston, 1-9 in their last 10. Orlando 3-7 in their last 10. This is really a game I don't want any part of. Just battle of the two horrible teams with so many injuries. And gosh, Houston, on a 5-game losing streak on the road to the Magic, 5-game losing streak at home, 1-7 in their last 8. Absolutely hate this game. Wouldn't put $1 on this game, but if I had to, I'll take the plus points with the Magic at plus 1.5. Hope they can cover. Should be a very ugly game, and we're going to go with the under 218.5. Next matchup, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Toronto Raptors. Thunder 20-36, 25-30-1 against the spread. The Raptors 23-34, 24-33 against the spread. Raptors opening up as 8.5-point favorites with the over-under at 220.5. Last 10 games for the Thunder, 1-9 in their last 10. Toronto 5-5 in their last 10. OKC's last win was against Toronto, winning by 10 in that matchup. So many injuries for this OKC team. Toronto, just looking at it, they have 7 guys. No, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have 6 of their starters and some bench players, all questionable. This is crazy. Man, this is tough. We're going to see who plays for this Toronto team. Toronto just sucks. They're just a very bad basketball team. They're not the same Toronto team we've been seeing all year. OKC, they play hard. They do have some bad losses under their belt, a lot of bad losses. But I just can't trust Toronto here. You haven't been able to trust Toronto all season. And we're going to see if some of their players play. But I think this is just too big of a spread here. We're going to roll OKC plus 8.5. And we're going to go with the under 220.5 as well. Next matchup, we have the Portland Trailblazers versus the Charlotte Hornets. Portland 32-23, 27-28 against the spread. The Hornets 27-28, 29-25-1 against the spread. Portland opening up as 5.5-point favorites with the over-under at 223.5. Last 10 games for Portland, 5-5 in their last 10. Charlotte 5-5 or 4-6 in their last 10. Portland, 7-game winning streak against Charlotte here, 6-1 against the spread against Charlotte in those meetings. I think the same continues here. Portland coming off that crazy, 1-point win over San Antonio. Charlotte, riding a 4-game losing streak here. I think Portland can cover this 5.5-point spread pretty easily. Going to go with the over 223.5. Next matchup, we have the Sacramento Kings versus the Dallas Mavericks. Kings 22-34, 24-32 against the spread. Dallas 30-25, 26-29 against the spread. Dallas opening up as favorites at -8 points with the over-under at 230. Last 10 games for Sacramento, 1-9 in their last 10. Dallas 6-4 in their last 10 here. Sacramento 0-5 on the road. 9-game losing streak. The Sacramento team is bad, playing very bad. Dallas failing to cover the spread though, 1-5 against the spread in their last 6. 2-4 in their last 6, coming off a bad loss to the Knicks here. Love a Mavs bounce back here against this bad Sacramento Kings team. Going to take the Mavs -8 points, and we're going to go with the over 230. Last matchup on the board, we had the Minnesota Timberwolves versus the Los Angeles Clippers. Minnesota 15-42, 25-31-1 against the spread. The Clippers 39-19, 34-23-1 against the spread. Clippers opening up as 10.5-point favorites with the over-under at 234.5. Last 10 games for Minnesota, 4-6 in their last 10. Clippers 7-3 in their last 10 here. Clippers, we'll see if Kawhi Leonard plays. He didn't play last game. I would imagine Kawhi is going to play this game here. This one's pretty simple for me. If Kawhi and Paul George are both playing, I think they have no problem covering this 10.5-point spread. But if one of them's out, since whenever one of them's out, they're in pretty close matchup. So if Kawhi plays and Paul George, Clippers -10.5. If one of them's out, I'm going to take Minnesota plus 10.5. We're going to go with the over 234.5 as well. That's going to do it for this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Good luck with your picks and parlays on Sunday, and I will see you guys Monday. Have a good one.